if we want to create a new shape on our canvas without removing the previous drawings that we have created, we can invoke context dot begin path. So this function would just um, give an instruction to the context that we want to create a new shape. Okay, so what we need to do next is we need uh, to move basically the pencil, for lack of a better term, that would be used for drawing the shapes to a different location so that it can start a drawing on that location. Okay, so I want it to be placed 240 pixels x and 20 pixels y. So that would be the starting point of shape. So what we want to create is another line, to draw a line from that point to, since we would be creating a square, so it would be along the x-axis, the line that we would be creating first. Okay, so it would be um, 240, and that would be 340 by, still on y, it would be 20. Okay, so the next line that we would be creating would be a vertical line, so we need to provide 340 and 120. Okay, so that would create, so in our in our drawing, what we would do, basically the first point would be located here, the next point would be located here, and then the next point would be here, and the last one would be here, and then we will be closing the path going back. So this would be the second point that would be created. Sorry, this would be the third point that would be created. So we need to create another line going back to uh, 240, position 240, and then what we'll do is we'll just close the path, and that's it. Okay, next, so what we need to do next is we need to define the width of our stroke, or the line, or the outline of the shape, and then we invoke the method stroke. What this method would do is it would just draw an outline around the shape that we have created. And let's save this one, and let's go to our browser. That's it. One thing that you would notice, the stroke would be outside the shape that we have defined. So the lines that was drawn is actually outside the lines that we have created with the move to and the line to functions. So that's how I would be drawing the rectangular shape with just the outline of the shape. What if I want to provide a background color, or I want to fill out the shape with a color? So just invoke uh, fill style. I'll just change the fill style property. So what this property changes is the background color that would be used. for the fill of the shape. So let's use light blue. The allowed values here would be the allowed color names of CSS. And then we invoke the fill method this time. So what this stroke would do is it would create an outline of shape, and the fill function would color the shape inside. So let's save our file, and then let's look at the shape again. There you have it. You have your colored square. Okay, I'll just go. Okay, so what if I want to draw, instead of squares or rectangles, we want to draw circles? So to draw circles on the canvas, we can use the arc function. The arc function accepts 6 parameters, but instead of the xy, wherein the xy values here, instead of starting at the top left portion of the shape, it would be the center point of the shape. So the center point wherein I would be drawing the arc. The radius, of course, would be the width from the starting point to where you want to start to draw. The start angle, and the end angle would be the starting point of drawing the arc, and of course the where you want the drawing to end. So basically, if we would be comparing it from the previous process that we have done, start angle would be the move to, the end angle would be the line to, but instead of creating straight lines, this would be creating arcs or circles. One thing that we should remember is the start angle and the end angle uses radians as values instead of degrees, so we have to convert the degrees to radians. And the last parameter would be the direction. So the direction value would be a boolean value, true or false. If the value is true, then drawing would be clockwise. If the value is false, then drawing would be counterclockwise. Okay, so let's try to draw a circle again. So we want to create a new shape. We invoke the begin path method, the begin path function, and then invoke the arc method from the context. Okay, I want to draw a square, a circle beside the square that we have drawn. So where will I start? Okay, so the line here would be starting 214, 20 pixels away from it would be 260. I'm sorry, it's 340. This is where the last point of the square that we have created a while ago. So 320 plus 20 pixels would be 20 pixels away. That's where the edge of the circle would be, and then the radius is, let's say I would be drawing a 150 pixel radius of a circle. So it would be 360 plus 50 would be 510. Okay, so the arc would start at 510, x position, and y would be 70. Okay, so the radius would be 50 pixels. The starting point would be 0 degrees, and since we want to create a complete circle, it has to be at the 360-degree mark. But as I have mentioned a while ago, the arc method uses radians, so we have to convert degrees to radians. So to convert degrees to radians, you just multiply degree to the value of pi. So I am getting the value of pi from the math object of JavaScript over 180. And let's draw clockwise. Okay, next, of course, we have to define. Let's just fill. Let's just draw the circle with just a fill. Excuse me. Just let's use a yellow fill this time, and then invoke the fill method. Let's save our file, and then let's view it on our browser. So there you have it. You have your yellow circle. Okay, so that's all for now about the canvas element. So what we have learned for this module is how we would be creating the canvas element, how to provide additional information if ever canvas element is not supported by the browser that we are using, and we have drawn simple shapes on the canvas. Basically, it's just a rectangle with a fill. And if you want to draw rectangles or squares with just strokes, and using the arc when drawing using the arc function when drawing circles. For if you want to know more about the canvas element, you can go to this site. This is the W3 uh, site for the development of the HTML5 elements. I just want to remind everyone that HTML5 is not a standard yet. It's just a specification this time. So the implementation of the browser and the implementation of the element might change over time. So if you want to know the most recent changes or the most recent uh, implementation of the specification, you may want to go to these sites. Hopefully, you would have a use of the HTML canvas, and I believe you can see here a lot of potential in adding content in your site. Thank you and have a nice day.